Welcome to the Open to Hope Show. I'm your host, Dr. Gloria Horsley, with my daughter and co-host,
Dr. Heidi Horsley.
Well, Heidi, we've got an interesting show today and some interesting guests, right?
We do, Mom. So you are going to be one of our guests,
Okay.
Dr. Gloria Horsley, and you are the president of the Open to Hope Foundation, and you are usually the host of this show, and you are here with your fiance, Dr. Frank Powers.
Yes.
So Frank is a licensed psychologist. He graduated at Columbia University with a social work master's degree, as did I, so we have that in common. Frank's father died when he was only 15 years old, and he became single after divorce. And Gloria and Frank are writing a book together called Open to Love, Fearless Dating After 60. So we are going to talk, like I said, about online dating and finding love after loss. And can you both talk to me a little bit about your experience with online dating?
Well,
and
as
finding
you
each
know,
other?
that's how we met.
Yes, I love it.
Oh, I think you forgot to say that your dad died a couple of years ago.
Yes,
So
of course.
Frank
How
and
did
I
forget
come
that?
to this from a little different perspective
Yeah.
for the book, and I come as a widow, basically.
Yes, and me as a divorcee.
Right, right, and male and female. So, yeah. Do you want to know how we got started with the book and how we got together?
Yes, because since we are talking a lot about online dating today, just how you got together.
How we
and-
got to this place. Well, after Phil died, I did a little bit of dating, and and my friends were curious and talking about it, particularly my widowed friends, about the fact that I was dating, and
Were they interested or were they critical?
both.
Okay.
But well, the critical is always kind of a quiet thing. Really?
Why do you need to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the implication, I'd never do that. Oh,
Yeah.
really? I don't have time. You know, I've got to walk my dog.
Yes.
I've got to be home.
Do you feel safe?
Yeah. Do you feel safe? And all those questions, or just smile or laugh, or just say "you go, girl" or something. Anyway, but they also asked me questions about it. How is dating? You know, where do you meet people and that kind of thing.
How
and
do you set up
is
a
it?
profile online? What's important to put in a profile? I wouldn't even know where to start.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah, things like that. So anyway, I decided that I would write a book, and if I was going to write a book, because they kept talking to me about dating over 60, and I'm 82, and had written other books, and so I decided to write a book about it. And I thought, well, if I'm going to write a book on it, I've got to do a chapter on online dating. So I fearlessly.
I think it's pretty fearless.
I mean, I thought, what the heck, I can't lose. It's just for a book.
Yes.
I mean, that's how you have to set it up in my mind. This is just for a book.
Not everybody will have that excuse. So we
Right,
got-
right. And then when I went online, people said to me, what about going online? I'm just writing a book, you know. So I decided that I would write a book. So I went on a dating website. And my second person I met was Frank, who lived in Arizona. I was staying with my sister in Arizona for a bit. And we started corresponding, and that's how we got started to the online dating.
Yeah, we texted first. We never really talked on the telephone, I don't believe. Until
we never
met.
ever talked
So
on
we
the
set
telephone.
up this meeting because we both were curious about one another, and we also had checked one another out. That Heidi, is a really important thing that you really do online. Want to make sure that you're talking to a real person and you're talking to the person that they're presenting themselves to be. And there's lots of ways to do that. We talk about that in the book. But the way that we did it was that she had a website, Open to Hope, and I had a website. And so
With all your
we could-
wonderful art on it, your
Yes,
sculpture.
It was lovely, and she loved my art. So
Oh,
that
that's
was
nice.
that was
Yeah.
a nice thing that brought us together.
Powerstudio.com.
Yeah, but she violated
I love
almost
it.
all the rules that I had learned because I had been online for a longer period of time. I had been divorced and really, in a sense, had met a couple of people that did not work out, and that does happen.
Right.
So, but you have a nice way online to be able to protect yourself and to feel safe doing it. One of the things is that out of probably every 30 people who you would meet online, there's probably only going to be, 3 to 5 people that are going to be someone who you might even want to meet, much
Right.
less
That
feel
makes sense.
compatible
But
with.
you know what? even if you don't want to meet him, it's a hoot.
It is fun.
It is fun
It is
to
fun.
get your
To go through all
get
that.
your
And it
cell
gets
phone.
you out of your
and you get
rut.
with your girlfriends.
Yes.
I
And you
don't
look-
know
and
who
you
the
look at all
guys
the
get with,
profiles.
and you look
Well,
at the
no, we
profiles.
talk about the women that we met online.
And you can show pictures. I'm sure
Yes,
there's some
exactly.
real.
Oh yes,
Well,
that's
and I
good.
would imagine that part would be fun. And then I would imagine sometimes you meet somebody and you know right away that, okay, this is not a good fit. I'm with them and I just am not clicking.
You know, you really do. Like I said, you meet and text and perhaps talk to. Sometimes people will talk more on the phone. And it just so happens that Gloria and I are more texters. Some
I know, I
people
think
like
it's so
to talk.
funny. You're so 2022. It's like my children. They're like, Mom, we don't talk on the phone, we text.
I don't
exactly.
I don't like to talk on the phone, so I didn't talk
Mom,
to anybody.
you are-
People would send me,
Yeah.
you know, do you want to talk? And I wouldn't, you know.
Mom, you
I'd
are
say
so
no.
current. I am a phone talker, and everybody's like, why are you talking to me
I
on the
never
phone?
talk on the phone, and I didn't talk to Frank at all.
No. We had actually set up a time to meet, and this was really curious because I had more experience. I knew some of the rules, and we talk about in the book what are some of the things that you learn to do, because it is a process. You have to learn how to do online dating. You
Well,
can't do it like you did when you were 30.
Right.
But
mean, it's
may
very
I
different.
say, first of all, you know, you have to know where you are in the grieving process.
Exactly,
If you
exactly.
are, you know, if
When
you've
you're
lost a
ready.
spouse,
Yeah.
or when you're ready, or if you've had a divorce, if you're bitter, angry,
right.
and we've got a chapter to, you know,
Yeah,
do an
in the book
assessment
that
on
sort
that.
of
But
does
you need
that.
to know that, and then you need.
Before you even think about online.
Yeah, yeah, and then you need to dating, any dating.
Yes, any
you've got to
dating
know that,
whatsoever,
and
yes.
then the next step, you've got to know who you are, what kind of a profile, what you're looking for.
But she really did. She violated the very first rule, because one of the things is that I invited her. I said, you know, would you like to have coffee or would you like to go to happy hour? Well, most women will tell you that they prefer going to coffee because it's safer.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And your mom, oh, happy hour is just fine.
I had no idea what I was doing.
No.
I just wanted to get some data.
Yeah. And did she get data?
And
Oh
then,
my-
and then my real estate agent friend dropped me off because my car was in the shop.
Yes.
And I said, you said, come over to my house. Do you want to
Well-
see my sculpture?
Well,
went?
I said, do you want to come see my etchings, which is an old thing. I said it as a joke.
Yeah.
And she said, oh, I'd love to see your artwork.
Oh my God.
So that was the second surprise.
So we had
that I
dinner,
had.
not just coffee. We had
Yeah, you
dinner.
had dinner, yeah.
Then I went over and looked at your sculptures.
And then she said,
That was
well,
the
the
first
real
date?
estate
This is
agent is going
First
to.
time I met him.
Wow.
And the real estate agent said that she wasn't going to be able to take her home. So she says, oh, could you take me home?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. Three of
normally-
the major
I was
rules.
going to say, normally you wouldn't tell people to go over to somebody's house they had just met.
No.
Yeah.
If you're going to be safe, you really want to make sure that the person is safe.
Yeah,
And so you need some time to do that. You really do.
Yeah.
But Fearless here didn't.
I know. Well, she obviously got a pretty good vibe from you and feeling that you were a safe person.
Well, we just felt really compatible from
Yeah.
the very beginning. Yes, it was just
absolutely.
wonderful.
Yeah, because we both been therapists. We know the same background.
Yeah, we had a lot of
you're-
similarities. We could finish sentences.
Yeah, I mean, you studied with a lot of the people that I've
Sure.
studied with, and
Sure.
so, you know,
that was,
we really
that was helpful.
came in very
Not
compatibly.
everyone that goes online, though, is going to be able to have those kind of things. So
Right.
you do have to be a good consumer if you're going to go online. You've got to know what the rules are. And that's one of the things that I think we help people with in the book, because we want them to feel safe. We want it to be fearless for them.
Well, and I like your personal attributes assessment. So you talk about political compatibility.
Yes.
That, you know, surprisingly enough, politics is an issue.
And even more so now.
Yeah, because
Even more
if you are with somebody who is really, I have a friend who is a Trumpster, and she is very, very strong about it, and she gets upset about any other issue.
Yeah.
And you could be on the other political spectrum and, you know, want to be with somebody who holds your politics. And that may be, if politics is
Yeah.
very
Well,
big for you, you're going to want
Look,
compatibility.
if CNN is your preference, and someone's watching Fox 5, it's going to be really annoying.
Yeah.
So, I
Well,
mean,
it's
those
gonna-
little
it's gonna-
things.
yeah, and
right?
you know, after 60, it is different. When you're 30, you can work through those differences.
Mm-hmm.
You have time to do it. At 60, you want to find someone truly that's more compatible
I mean,
with you.
because
What if-
they're not the biggest issues in the world, and
Well-
you know, and you're
But they can
focusing.
get in the way.
Yeah, they
They
get
can
in the
in the
way.
way.
Right. What about the religious beliefs?
Those are important, and you do need to do that. And most of the online talk about what religious
They ask you to
preference.
check it.
Oh,
Exactly.
what do they ask you to check?
Yeah, they
Your-
don't
your
religion,
particular-
not specifically.
Not
they will have
specifically,
you check religion, but
but-
then they'll have a space. Do you want to talk about it?
Okay.
Exactly.
What's important to you, or they'll have a, and in general, what's
And
important.
you know,
to you.
they do things like weed out if a person is a smoker versus a person who's non-smoker, and that's a big issue.
Absolutely.
I think for most people, most non-smokers don't want to have a smoker in their life. So,
And drinking.
and drinking is big, and whether a person is a workaholic or an alcoholic. You know,
Oh,
both
geez.
of those two things can really, in a sense, kill a relationship right from the very beginning.
This is a
Absolutely.
cool thing about online dating, frankly, is that you can, if your next door neighbor or your friend introduces you to their brother or somebody, they may have a lot of aspects that you're really not interested in. And if you know your profile, know what you want, know who you are, and at this age, you can then try to pick somebody. You know, you can tell people what you want, and they can let you know if you're a
We do a
match.
needs assessment in the book, so we have people go through and take a look at what are the things that they're most important to them, and those are the kind of things that you want to look for in the profile. It's also the kind of things that you do want to talk to the person about before you set up a meeting with them.
So, Frank, what was the most important things to you in your dating profile?
My dating profile was, first of all, that I did not want to have someone who was a heavy drinker, okay? Because I had had that experience online, and it was really hard. Because I really liked the person, but when I found out their alcohol use was not at a comfortable level for me.
Okay.
They were using alcohol to handle their stress, and you know, that for me, that isn't what I wanted in my life, and I don't think it's what most people want in their life. So
Right.
you do have to be careful, because those things are going to make a difference, and you don't want to
Absolutely.
get too involved with someone who has a trait or a quality that's not going to work for you.
Yeah, and-
That being said, you may not know it until you've dated him a few times.
Well, I didn't.
Bring them to
I
happy
didn't.
hour and see what happens. and Mom, I know that for you, being active and athletic were
Golf
important.
was an important piece
Yes.
for me. I wanted somebody who could play golf.
Yes. My golf is not as good as hers, but it's
Well,
getting
she's
there.
pretty good.
Yeah, or athletic. I knew you were athletic and liked tennis, and I mean, I was looking for people, you know, somebody who liked sports.
We
was an
even like to
important
walk
aspect.
together, which is
I love
really
it.
good.
Yeah.
And so you've got the personal attributes of compatibility with family and friends.
Yeah, that's important. And certainly one of the things that you want to do is have your friends meet the person that you're dating, so they can give you their impression. I remember that I had a dinner party, and I invited a friend that I had known for 30 years, and his first comment to me after the dinner was, "She certainly likes to drink a lot." And that really,
was one of your
that
tests?
was one of the things. Yes, he really alerted me to the fact that there might be a problem with alcohol, and that is an issue. It
Yeah.
is an issue.
And I invited my very good friends and neighbor to have dinner, and invited someone, and they were kind of thumbs down. But I went with them a few more times. I didn't, you know, but they, when I finally stopped dating him, they were like, "Oh, good. We didn't ever think he was good enough for you." Now, that comment was the good enough for me. You got to watch that, because
Yes.
that's a big judgment, and family and friends may judge somebody on qualities that they don't like.
Yeah,
That-
and
no,
for
no,
their own reasons,
Yeah,
not
for-
necessarily what's
right.
good for
for
you.
their own reasons,
sure.
yeah, and they make snap judgments too, meeting somebody once or whatever. So, you know,
So you want to take in the information, but you can't let it determine. It's really up to you and whether the person is going to be your needs and what
Right.
you want in a person and vice versa.
I think that's important. You need to think about what you want, because sometimes family and friends might want a replica of the person that died.
Exactly.
And that's not gonna happen.
Yes, exactly.
Or say this is the way your relationship should be. And
Right.
I don't know, Heidi. I wondered how is it for you to see my holding hands with people, or
Well,
that kind of
we
thing.
actually all like Frank a lot. Me and my sisters and the family. So it's been great. Frank has been really great. We at first were
thank you.
very, very resistant. We came in hot and bothered. And he handled it so well. I can't imagine being on the hot seat with my mother's 3 daughters being like, why are you dating? What are your, why is this happening? We want our dad back. We didn't say that, but that was really what it was about. And you heard us, you validated us, you acknowledged us, and you were a psychologist. You handled this really well. And after that, after you were on that chopping block and you handled this well, I said, I like this guy. I like this guy.
Well, it was quite an experience to suddenly have 3 very intelligent and articulate daughters who began to question whether I was okay for their mom.
Yes. And to my mom's, talking about my mom in this, she's like, I want to get this stamp of approval about Frank, but I'm in love with Frank, and he's good for me, and I'm going to date him regardless. And I think that's important too.
Sure.
Yeah.
No, she's a strong lady.
I wanted to get back to one aspect of religion. For people my age, people over 60 and beyond, religion can be a big thing. Catholic, it's only been, I don't know how many years since Catholics couldn't get divorced, and I don't think most people in society, your age, realize that. And marriage is an important thing for a lot of people in these older ages, and they're looking for a relationship to where they're going to get married, or they have to adjust with the fact that they're not going to get married and make some decisions. That comes in the dating apps too. I think that they ask if you want to be married.
It reminds me of another thing. They ask if you want to be married. That's interesting. How do you feel about living with somebody?
Yeah.
I mean, I think these are conversations that need to happen fairly early on.
Exactly, because certainly after 60, different from 30, is you don't have a lot of time to waste.
Right.
You want to find out whether this is going to work or it's not. So you need to know yourself, and you need to know the questions you need to ask your partner. And so it's really important. And I think that's one of the reasons why we decided to write the book, because we want to make it easy, safe, and comfortable, and have someone have a roadmap so that they know what to do if they get to the place where they're ready and they're lonely and they want to bring someone in their life and they're ready to do that. How do you do it? So that's the big thing.
And how do you stand up to the things that are going to happen?
Exactly.
Because
there's going to be things.
There's going to be some,
like one of your sisters, questioning whether it was the right thing for us to do it as quickly as we did.
Right.
Yes, yeah, and standing up to it. Well, not being surprised first. Trying to go through some of the issues. Like health issues. I think that's one of the things we have
Yes.
on there.
Yes, good health.
Good health is something, of course, that everybody had put down that they want on a dating app. Everybody wants somebody with good health, and women. The joke is they talk about a nurse or a purse.
What does that mean? You're going to be a nurse or financial?
I don't want to have to take care of a guy who's ill, and I don't want them to love me because of my finances.
Okay.
Sure.
So a nurse and a person. What was it you said about men don't want to? Do you remember a wallet?
A wallet or. I can't remember the.
I can't remember. A harlot. I think it said once.
Oh, really? I don't think it was that. That sounds good, though. I like it.
They don't want to be a wallet. So there are certain things. But the reality is, when you are reaching seniorhood, you probably are going to have to help somebody through their health issues.
Well, exactly.
I had rotator cuff surgery. Frank's helped me. Frank had a heart issue. I've helped him.
Right.
You're just going to move through that together. And that's actually one of the
things that brought us closer together.
Yeah, that brought us closer together. So I don't think that you need to be afraid of it. However,
You do want to know.
Right.
You know,
you want to know
if-
what you're getting
They're
into.
not
if you're going to
blindsided.
become a caretaker way before you're prepared to become a caretaker with someone, and at
Yeah.
60, that is an issue. That is
Yeah,
an
it
issue.
becomes an issue at that time. And the thing is, I don't want to say people lie, but they don't tell you
Right.
what their health. People don't like to talk about what their health issues are. They
She
don't
likes
want
to check
send-
out the medicine cabinet.
So I like to check out the medicine cabinet. I say go in with your cell phone and go to make sure you're in the master bathroom. So that I told the woman this, and she said, make sure it's a master bathroom, and take a picture of those pills and find out what these people.
That's right,
But at
that's
least
right.
ask people what they're taking. We also have a little medical assessment in our
Sure.
book.
And we,
so where you
we
can-
talk about sexuality too.
Yeah.
Sexuality at 60, of course, is different than sexuality at
Totally
30.
different.
Right.
Big
So
ball
you,
game.
you do want to be aware of what your needs are and what you want, and is it compatible with your partner?
I don't think they approach sexuality on the dating apps, which is interesting.
No, they kind of stay away from that.
People don't like to talk about sex and money.
Yeah, you got to do that on your own.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're right. Sex and money.
My mother said, Frank, she said to me, Heidi, we have this, we're talking about sexuality in the book. Let me talk to you about it. And I said, Mom, TMI, TMI, too much information. Too much information. I don't want to hear about my mother's
I
sexual
said,
life.
Okay, you'll have to read about it in the book.
I don't want to hear. Okay, so you said, I think we've covered a lot of these. Personal habits, I guess that would be big. 'Cause-
Tidiness. Have you ever
Yes.
thought about that?
Yes.
Yes.
Tidy.
If somebody's a hoarder
You know.
or a slob, you don't
Oh,
want,
my
that's going to be
gosh,
difficult.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
don't. Yeah, that can be a problem. You know, Frank helps me make the bed. I have a thing about making the bed every day. I don't know if you made it before and I never asked you. That might be one of the things I ask. You need your bed made every day.
Well, little expectations that we don't realize we have, and
Yeah.
that the other person might be doing something, and you might be like, wait, what are they doing?
Oh, well, I have to tell you, Frank's been a bachelor for a while, and he likes Trader Joe's. And so he shops at Trader Joe's and buys these, what do you call them? You like them because
The frozen dinners?
Yes.
salads and contained meals, frozen
Yes,
meals.
right.
And the
Portion
other,
control.
Portion control, that's what he's got. But you know what? Actually, I think it's great because I've cooked for so many years. It is so great to have him say, bring 3 foil things and say, which one do you want for dinner?
Putting them in the microwave.
So, you know, things
Those
like
personal
that.
habits are really, in a sense, important to make sure that they're compatible and they're not going to be something that you just can't tolerate.
Does getting in a new relationship in your 70s and 80s, which you're both in, does it make you feel like you're really young again?
You know, I'll tell you, it certainly put an extra motion in my step.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like the energy level that I've gotten by having a nice connection and feeling her energy is really something special. And I really think that most people who live alone don't even realize what they're missing. So loneliness is there.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely true. Yes, and it's so much fun. I mean, some of the things that you miss are, I mean, just things like being able to put a necklace on or having somebody straighten your shirt or having somebody say you have something in your tooth.
When she had shoulder surgery, I had to comb her hair, and that was.
I remember this. You were blow drying it and styling
it.
it.
Was very intimate. It was very, very nice. I loved doing that.
So, in fact, we said if we were younger, we would do a therapy at a beauty salon
Yes.
and have people wash each other's hair.
Oh, my gosh.
And
Yeah,
then
it's
do
a very wonderful
circle.
way.
Yeah, it really is. It really is
Connection, yes.
very sweet. Taking care of other people, you know.
Yeah.
What
a
is the
beautiful thing.
hardest thing about dating in your 60s, 70s, and 80s?
The lack of knowledge, I think, was the hardest thing for me, not knowing what to expect.
Well, also, you know, when you get to be this age, to learn someone else, we learn all the intricacies about their life, their family, and all of
Oh,
that.
yeah.
You know, that's a little daunting.
Yeah.
You know, when you're 30, you just kind of assume that that's it. When you get to be 60, you said, been there, done that. I don't know if
Well, you
I really
also
wanna
have to
do that
remember
again.
everybody's names.
Oh, God, yes.
Then you have to remember.
And
their
you have a big
friends' names.
family.
Yes.
It's easier because I have a big family.
Frank's an only child. So.
Well, that's big then, because my mom's got 3 kids and 10
Oh, my
grandkids,
gosh,
and lots of.
Yes, I told her
nephews
I
and
have to have a
nieces.
program to know who the team players are.
But also learning what aggravates one person, doesn't aggravate
Sure.
me, and being able to talk about it is
Sure.
really important, before it gets to, escalate. I think that's one of the things, we didn't talk completely about getting married or not getting married, living with somebody. I think that's one of the things that is interesting about not being married. Because for me, I think as a female, I would probably put up with more
Yeah,
if I was married.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
now,
Feel an
and maybe you would
obligation.
too.
Yes.
Because you can't walk away, and not that we would.
Well,
but
yeah, but I think you're more considerate.
Yeah,
Because you don't have something saying that you have to be together. You're only together because you enjoy being
Right,
together.
you wanna be together.
So that makes a really wonderful statement, because we're together because we enjoy being together,
Right.
not because we have to be.
Right. That makes sense.
So if we get aggravated with each other's feelings or whatever, we can deal with them.
Sure.
Yeah. And we
Yes.
do.
And we do.
And we do get aggravated.
Well, yeah, we're human.
So the advice out there is to get on the dating app first, for the people that are listening.
What?
The advice, the first step is to get on a dating
Well,
app.
the first step is to get our book and go through the
Yeah, you wanna do a
assessments
needs
and when you're
assessment
ready.
and all of that.
But
Get-
if
That's
you're
right.
ready, I'll have to say, what can I say? I love the dating app, and you've had success on it. And
So,
absolutely.
get the book.
It's a way of being able to meet people you wouldn't normally come in contact with.
absolutely.
So get the book, Open to Love, Fearless Dating After 60, which will walk you through everything you need to do
Exactly.
to get
That's what we're hoping
back
to do.
in the game and back into a relationship.
Right.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you,
I
Heidi.
love this.
Thanks. And thanks, everybody, for watching this show today. And Heidi and I and Frank want to remind you that if you've lost hope, please lean on ours until you find your own. And God bless.
The loss of a loved one can leave you feeling depressed, angry, alone, lost. But you don't have to face this journey on your own. Open to Hope is a free community for anyone who has experienced loss. Find support. Find help. Find hope. Give grief a voice at Open to Hope. For more information, find us at opentohope.com.